lovely people. I decided that I wanted to do a really short video today just to talk about a couple of things that I thought of when I was setting up a website yesterday. I'm going to have just a little website for Bossy Fat Babe, just to direct people to the proper social media platforms and whatnot. But those of you who watched the first video may notice that I had been going to name it Bossy Fat Bitch. Well, it turns out that Google won't let me have bitch in my username and email and whatnot. They said this is not allowed. So rather than have a different email address than the actual channel name and everything, I just decided for simplicity's sake it would just be Babe, which is fine. Doesn't quite get across the same thing, but whatever. So some things that I thought of while I was writing a short intro kind of to Bossy Fat Babe was, and I don't want this to come across as a criticism to anybody who does a channel or Instagram or whatever and they do this, because I think it's really important and I love watching that kind of stuff. But I think recently there has been a kind of backtrack in regards to body positivity, where a lot of women who are fat feel like they have to compensate for that with constant full makeup and glamorous clothing and stilettos in order to distract from their weight with their glamorous look. And like I said, I love me some glamorous look. But I made a conscious decision, today actually, to get on camera with you guys without putting makeup on first, because I have that instinct in me myself to feel like I have to compensate. And this is not to say that women who are thin don't also feel the pressure to constantly be wearing makeup and whatnot. But there is a real correlation with rock your curves and the woman looking like she's going to a nightclub in 1950. And that is totally fine, but it's just kind of frustrating when you are looking to just live your life and you're not heading to a penthouse office in Manhattan, when you just want to go to the grocery store and feel like you look great, and it turns into this it just can't really be denied that culturally a thin woman wearing a pair of simple jeans and a t-shirt with her hair in a messy bun is still considered really cute, and a woman who is fat wearing that exact same outfit is looking sloppy. And it's a commentary on the way that we interpret body rather than what they're wearing. We try and act like it's about clothing, and it's not. So I want Bossy Fat Babe to be something a little different, where I have zero problem with glamour. Obvious. I mean, look at my fucking office. I love glamour, but I don't want it to feel like a requirement. I don't want women to feel like unless they're doing foundation and contouring and eyebrows and everything, that they're not accepting themselves. Those are not hand in hand. However, as I said, I do think that those things are important because, for myself, some people have gone their whole lives being heavy, and so they have a very different experience than what I've had, because I was thin until I was about 23 years old, 24 years old, and that was when I really started to gain a lot of weight. And when I started to put that weight on, my instinct immediately was to stop wearing makeup or clothes that I liked because I didn't deserve to wear them yet. Because nobody wants to see this. Because why waste the time when I'm gonna put my makeup on that doesn't change the fact that I'm fat. So in a lot of respects, I think that the fact that fat women are being encouraged to take pride in their look and wear clothes that are way more form-fitting and way more loud, because we're really finally starting to step away from the matronly, super modest look for plus size clothing. I think that's awesome, and I'm so glad that that's finally happening, because as somebody who is fat, I still like to wear revealing clothes. I don't care. Like, it's not going to be the same as when I was thin because the options aren't there and the confidence with certain areas of my body isn't there. But I still like, look, I'm wearing a low-cut dress right now with a push-up bra. Like, I like that kind of look, and it would be really hard to find. So there are a lot of pluses to that. But then the minuses are women feeling like they have to be totally done up. And also I think there's obviously, like, the marketing aspect where makeup companies are realizing that fat women are still a total demographic to cater to. And so we're being encouraged to wear heavier makeup because it causes us to buy more makeup, which maybe there will be a whole other episode on like the weird like push-pull between marketers and the fat community because they love to act like they want us while not really seeming to want us, and it's very confusing as a consumer. So yeah, and like I said in previous episodes, I still want to do like reviews of like, that's totally legit. I actually had somebody on my Instagram today ask me to talk about chub rub in the summer because a lot of people want to wear shorts and dresses and stuff. And I think that's a really important thing because chub rub acts differently on different people because our bodies are shaped differently. And I actually got a pair of those bandelettes, and those of you who don't know what they are, I'll post a link in the episode description. But bandelettes are these like wide bands of either just straight fabric or lace that kind of look like a garter, but are meant to protect your thighs from chafing. And I have kind of mixed feelings on them. So, and then there are other things, obviously, like just using deodorant or there's different things. So I'll talk about those and what has worked for me personally and what has been recommended to me by friends that didn't work for me but worked for them. So you might want to still check it out depending on how your body's shaped. And yeah, and I'll give you an inside look at the way that my body is shaped because my thighs, there's a lot more surface connecting there. So unless I cover a wide area, I'm still getting that rub. So yeah, I still want to do things like that. But I also want this channel to be somewhere where people can like feel like this is real life. This is how I want to be able to just live in the world as a heavy person without constant, like dealing constantly with all kinds of weird expectations to compensate for that. So I hope that I'm able to kind of get that across. And not everything I talk about will be specific to being plus sized because there are some things that I just will want to talk about. And I think the key for me in terms of like doing things like my podcast and starting something like this is whether I would want to do it even if people weren't watching. And I think that when I started this channel, that was what really excited me, was that this is stuff that I want to talk about and say without even worrying about an audience. Of course, I want an audience because this is what I do. But I think I would be here either way, maybe not necessarily making videos, but talking to somebody in the same way about it. And so that means that even if somebody else has done a review of something and it's not specific to plus sizes, I don't care. If I get it, I want to review it and share my specific thoughts about it. On that note, here's one thing that I didn't ever think I would be recommending that I'm going to mention. And I'll post a link to it in the episode description also. So, Owen's grandmother, who is a sweetheart, gave me a $50 gift card to Walmart for Mother's Day, saying it was from my cats, which is the cutest thing. And I had been going to use it for like stuff for the house, and then I realized that I am woefully behind on a lot of like makeup stuff. I don't have many brushes. I have a beautiful set that somebody gave me as a birthday present that are Harry Potter wand handles, and those are gorgeous. But a lot of brushes you kind of need more than one of in order to blend and not like totally screw up and muddy your colors and whatnot. So there's a lot that I have to catch up on in terms of that. And then there are a lot of different primers and things that I've wanted to try because as somebody with really oily skin, most of what is suggested and loved by a lot of my friends doesn't work for me because most of my friends are white and have like tendency towards dry, sensitive skin, which is not my problem. So this is something that I've thought I was applying things wrong, and I've come to realize recently that no, my skin type is just not really typical for the people that I talk to about makeup and that do channels about makeup. And if there is somebody that you know who is like a channel on YouTube that talks about makeup and they have oily skin and they talk about that specifically, please link them, because I would love to watch that, because I'm very curious. So anyway, she gave me that, and I got some awesome brushes at Walmart. And then I went over to the clearance section in my friend and I, after Walmart, went over to Ross. And I kind of wished that I had waited and gone to Ross for brushes, because tip to you guys, they have a lot of like brand name stuff for dirt cheap in their messy clearance cosmetics section. And they had something that I've been seeing on Facebook and Instagram for a minute, which is one of these facial brushes. And I don't know if y'all have seen the commercials for these, but this is one of those things that I'm super curious about, but they're looking for $30 for one of these, and I'm not doing that. Well, in Ross, it was in clearance for $7.50, and I was like, well, all right. At first, this brush is, I just used it this morning, so pardon, it's a little damp inside. This brush is battery operated, and it has 2 settings. I think that's the low setting. Or maybe that's the high setting. That's the high setting. There it is. This brush, I thought when I like got it home, put batteries in it, and pressed it against my hand, I was like, oh, this isn't enough. This is really kind of like, the brush is really soft. The setting is kind of weak. And I was kind of unimpressed with it. And then I finally used it that night. Let me tell you, kids, if you can find one of these for cheap, or if you're willing to spend whatever they're actually asking for in a regular price store section, I really recommend it, because I don't know if you can really see, because, you know, it's hard to get that across. But I used this last night and this morning, and my skin felt amazing. Like, it really exfoliated. The whole, like, the action of just, like, having it and just standing and like slowly rubbing over the different parts of your face is so calming. Even the sound of it, the motor, is weirdly like soothing, and it felt like I was like at a spa. And I normally hate washing my face at the end of the day. I'm just really impatient about it, and you get water everywhere, and you get water on your clothes, and like, I don't know. It's a hassle, and sometimes I don't do it, which I know is really bad for your skin, and I really need to like just get over it. But I couldn't believe how much I loved this thing. And it comes in a bunch of colors, but I found, and they only had the pink sparkly ones at Ross, and I was like, well, I guess that's just what I'm gonna have to get. But yeah, if you have a chance to try it out, if you have oily skin like mine, and you tend to like put makeup on and then be like, oh God, because there's flakes and stuff because you haven't exfoliated quite enough, it's just worth a try, because you can return it if you don't like it. But like I said, when I first turned it on and just pressed it against my skin, I was like, this isn't going to be enough. Once I did it on my face, I realized it's totally enough. And not only that, the next time I use it, I may use the low setting, because I was using the high setting thinking I had to get any good out of it. So yeah, highly recommend. I'm trying to see, there's not even like a brand name on this one. I should have kept the box, but I didn't keep the box because I couldn't return mine because it was like on a super clearance, and I didn't really think that I was going to like it and want to talk about it, so I wasn't worried about that. But yeah, there's like no branding on this, which is kind of weird, right? But yeah, I love it, and skincare is something that I'm only just really starting to get into seriously because I'm getting older, and makeup doesn't go on the way that it used to when I was, 25. I'm 33 now, and it's not to say that it's like I'm looking haggard and crone-like or anything, but there's just subtle changes that start to happen right around this time in your life, and realizing that I'm going to need to be more careful about protection from the sun and all of this good stuff. So yeah, I said this was going to be a really short video and it really wasn't. My bad. But I hope that if you guys have any suggestions on stuff that you want me to focus on or maybe avoid even, in starting this channel, just comment and let me know. And, if you try this brush, also let me know, because I like it. Maybe I like gimmicks. It's fine. I'm very susceptible to marketing. It's true. Once I actually get something in my hands, I am cold-blooded about how I evaluate it. But I get sucked into wanting to try things based on gimmicks and marketing pretty easily. I can't lie. So if it's a slick campaign, they get my attention. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for watching. I'm probably, honestly, as I continue this channel, I really doubt that I'm going to be continuing to post an episode a day like I've been doing. There's just a lot that I want to talk about. So right now I'm just getting it all out. And then after this, I'll probably start to do maybe 1 or 2 a week. But yeah, keep your eyes on this space. Subscribe. As soon as I get 100 subscribers, I'm able to get a custom URL from YouTube, which is going to be really helpful for me to just be oh yeah, you can find me at, instead of having to actually copy and paste the long ass fucking URL that I'm using now. So yeah, thank you guys. And once I have the website up, I will let you all know as well, in case anybody's actually interested in that, although most of the content will be here. And that's about it. So I'll see you next time.